What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another fun offering for you today from our G.I. Joe collection here at the museum. All the way from 2009, we bring you our G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra 12-inch Destro figure. This is a movie-accurate Destro figure or character played by the actor Christopher Eccleston. And his likeness is all over this head sculpt. Hasbro did a fantastic job with the head sculpt of this Destro figure. It looks just like Christopher. We all know Destro, and for those who really don't have any history or knowledge on Destro, Destro is a weapons supplier, weapons dealer. He comes from a long line of his family members of dealing weapons. Arrogant, very confident, and that's displayed very well in the 2009 movie motion picture of the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. Very good movie. I own it on Blu-ray. It's just a great movie. And this is one of the coolest characters from the movie, Destro. I mean, we didn't see Destro in this form until later in the movie, but this was just a good character. Like I said, Christopher Eccleston played that part to a T. And Hasbro did a fantastic job at releasing these figures and having these figures so screen accurate that, you know, it made you as a collector really want to have these guys in your collection. Very well done. And it was another tease by Hasbro in bringing out a handful of G.I. Joes in 2009 and getting all of the collectors excited about G.I. Joe possibly or potentially coming back to toy stores all across the world. And that was just not to be, that just was never meant to be. It was never going to happen. Hasbro teased us. But I was one of those collectors that once these, I got information that these figures were going to be released. I was at Toys R Us, at Walmart, buying up all of these figures, these G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra figures. And I think I have maybe 6 or 7 of these guys. They were released in different formats. Some box versions of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, and you had some exclusives that were only sold in certain different countries. Like there was a few that were sold in France, I believe, exclusively in France. You couldn't get these figures anywhere else. And then you had some that was sold at the San Diego Comic-Con. I believe that was the Baroness. So you had different versions. The movie did very well, in my opinion, from what I could tell. And you had great characters. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of Destro in this format, and we didn't get this Destro in this format in the second G.I. Joe. I believe he was excluded from that part. You saw a brief glimpse of him, and that was it. It was all about Cobra at that point. Cobra kind of played him too, played Destro. Once again, this figure, beautifully done from the silver head. Once again, looks just like Christopher Eccleston. Down to his beautiful suit, pinstripe suit. The tie there. Logo on there. You see our Destro is nicely locked in. He came with the gung-ho grip hands. His Mars weapon. Still locked in there. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. We're hanging out here on a Friday in the museum. Kind of rainy outside and kind of dreary. We're nice and warm and dry here in the museum, and we're just doing some reviews on some more G.I. Joe figures. Today's offering is our G.I. Joe 2009 Rise of Cobra Destro figure. Love the packaging. Of this figure. This carded figure you see here on the side. He's got Destro going up here on the side. Sometimes less is more. Less is better. Because I'm a collector, a mint in box, mint on card collector. I love this big bubble here where it's nice and clear. You can see the figure is beautifully displayed. We'll turn this guy around. Let you see the back of the card. I'll hold this guy. He's doesn't want to stand that well. So I don't want to risk dropping him. We've had this ever since 2009, so looks fantastic for a decade-old toy. Background history on G.I. Joe. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Here's Destro's file card here. James McCullen. And we did some videos, I think we did one on Hawk. I don't believe we did one on Duke yet and Cobra. I think we did one on the Neo Viper, but I can definitely check that. I believe we did one on Ripcord as well. We'll check it out. Let's get you a year here. 2009. The Nanobites did this to Destro's face when he was badly burned at almost at the end of the movie. And this is where the Nanobites reconfigured and healed his face, but in the process you got this steel flesh toned mask, if you will. Hence you have Destro. Like I said, I can't say enough. Hasbro did a fantastic job in all of the head sculpts and likenesses. But when you have the movie rights likenesses, the rights to the likenesses and all that, this is what you can do. And this is what the collectors love to see. They love to see, you know, screen accurate renditions of the actors and actresses that play these characters. So this was another reason I had to have Destro. He's one of my favorite bad guys from G.I. Joe. I like the bad guys. Don't ask me why, guys. I like the bad guys. I'll lay him down right now. He's standing. This figure is risky. I don't want to do 1,000 takes on this video, guys. Guys, what do you think of our Destro figure from the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra movie. Do you have this figure? Are you looking for this figure? Not hard to find. You can find this guy on eBay, Amazon, but I always will tell you to check Cotswold Collectibles first. I don't believe they have any of these figures right now, but they are constantly updating their G.I. Joe inventory, which they have an extensive inventory of G.I. Joes. So I always tell you to check those guys first. Cotswold Collectibles. Guys, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today here at the museum. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep